Greetings YouTube, thank you for coming to my channel. So I thought I'd do a quick video tutorial on how to get Star Trek Online working with Reshade, because I did notice a few people were struggling to get it up and running basically with errors and what have you. So I thought I'd uninstall it from my current install of Star Trek Online and show you it from scratch. The little downside to that is obviously I'm going to have to redo the preset that I made because for some odd reason it didn't save correct settings and stuff, so I've got to fiddle through that later, but it's not a major thing. As long as you get it up and running and working with Star Trek Online, that's a good thing. On top of that, the good news for anyone that uses Reshade and NVIDIA Freestyle, some of the graphics tools that you can use to enhance your games. For anyone that watched 10 Forward Weekly last night, Ambassador Kale, Ian Richards and Borticus all confirmed that it was safe to use. Reshade is safe to use with Star Trek Online as its client side. So basically anything on top of the game, anything like filter wise is all good. So that big speculation and rumour of it being bannable is no longer the thing. We can all use it, which is great for me because I love Reshade. I use it with most of my games, as you can see on my YouTube channel. So anyway, enough waffle. What I'll show you now, if I get Star Trek Online up and running, and hopefully it doesn't go into maintenance. We got that big dilithium change going through today, which is a really good call by Cryptic. So looking forward to that. So what you'd normally see if Reshade was working is you'd have a little grey bar at the top and it would say press home to basically start using filters, essentially. That's not happened, and we're just graced with just the normal stock version of STO, which isn't bad. It's not by a long shot. It's obviously a 10-year-old game, and it still holds up in my opinion well today, but you can make it better. So if we come out of that and we'll exit. So first things first, what you'd need to do, state the obvious, is if you go to reshademe.com, this is the site that you're looking for. Just Google it and you should see tons of things related to this. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, it will say download. The latest version 5.0.0 5.0.2, bloody hell, that's a mouthful. That's the latest version. Now what I'm going to do is I've got some older versions on my computer. I'm going to use an older version because I've stored up most of these anyway. You can use the latest version. It's just some of the presets that I were using are on a previous version, so I'm going to get those moved across. But for the purpose of this video, I will use the current build and show you, which I've got here. Oh, that's my partner Tiff. Such a cute photo. But yes, quickly while I'm at it, got distracted there by the beauty of my glorious woman. Here is, as you've probably seen if you follow me on Twitter, this is one of the screenshots that I've edited to make look similar to the Picard Discovery visual style. You got some lens flare there, lens dirt. It's got a Gaussian, I think that's how it's pronounced, Gaussian blur on top. I've included flares now, so you get that pretty cool flaring on the lights. Well, I think it's cool. I know a lot of people don't like lens flare effects, etc. But I think this looks pretty cool myself. And this is tons of fun to do. This was all done in demo record, so there was no post with edited with Photoshop or anything like this. This was all done in game, all with demo record. And for those that are not in the know, demo record is Star Trek Online's tool for recording and taking screenshots. ZE Films posts quite a lot of videos on YouTube of ships that he's done in demo record. They're all bloody awesome. So definitely go and check him out if you get the chance. So yeah, so we'll come out. If I go into my current, where's my, so this is my Reshade folder. they're all the games, obviously, that I've got certain presets for. And what we want is the current one, which is 5.0.2. Obviously, that's the current one that's on here. So if we get this up and running. So first things first, if you go to browse, you need to look for the game client within Star Trek Online. So mine's obviously in Steam. So it'd be Steam Apps, Common, where are we? Star Trek Online. And then what we want is Star Trek Online again. Then Live. And then your Times 64 folder, which is essentially a Windows 64-bit, I believe, like folder anyway. And you want the game client, that one there. Now there are two versions of this. When I was there were two versions of this. When I first used it, I'd done the wrong one. And again, it's all trial and error. I mean, I managed to get it working in the end, which is awesome. So yeah, so we want this one here, game client. Click on that. Open, and then next, and then what this will do then is search for the current DirectX version that you've got, which will automatically find this anyway, dependent on your graphics card. Oh yeah, another obvious thing to add: just make sure all your drivers are up to date. I'm sure you all get that a lot, but yeah, just make sure that's all done before you do it. Press next. Now this bit. If you download a preset online, like, say for instance, when I go to release my Disco Picard effects, you can actually use that ini file, as I think it's called. So if I just quickly show you now, in actual fact, I will load it up, because that will save me a lot of time. So, Reshade. So that's the one I want to use. It will basically load up that preset first. In actual fact, I'll do just a bug standard one just to show you guys anyway, because you're not going to have access to that straight away. But yeah, it would find a preset, load up all the settings, jobs are good in. But what we want, you gotta press next, and then these are all the different presets that mod creators have actually created for Reshade. If you uncheck all and then check all, I always tend to install all of them. It's easy enough to do. And then press next, and then give it roughly 3 to 4 minutes, and then it should work. Fingers crossed. It'll be sod's law. I now start up Star Trek Online, and it's buggered. But hey ho, we live and learn. So I'll wait for this to install, and then I will show you. I should be able to load up my preset within game. But yeah, I am going to have to fiddle around with it later, because I noticed certain features were missing, because I've had this preset now for nearly 2 years. I ended up creating the preset back when the Crossfield, the first science Discovery ship, was released, back with, I think it was it Rise of Discovery or Age of Discovery, the update with Star Trek Online. And I got it specifically to create the lens flare and stuff from that, because I'm a big Star Trek fan. I don't care what anyone says, but Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, Prodigy, Next Gen, TOS, TMP, it's all Trek. Kelvin Timeline as well. It's all Trek to me. I love all of it, so I don't care what you're saying. But anyway, we'll finish that. And then hopefully, let's see if this works. Moment of truth. Sweet. Right, yeah. So that red thing, don't worry about that. Basically, it's just trying to find, I think what that's related to is a couple of presets that Stowe can't use, because it's all based on your DirectX version. So there's certain filters that are, for instance, only usable with an RTX card. I've got a GTX 1080 Ti, so there's certain things that you can't use with it. But yeah, so Reshade's up and running. You can press home. I'm going to skip the tutorial, but then once you're done, these are all your filters. as you can see, that's a sharp. Bloody hell, he looks old aged. Christ. Or was it just from where I was? Oh, that looks weird. But anyway, yeah, so I hope that's cleared things up a little bit. You should, like I say, it's such an easy install as well. So I really hope, I mean, I don't know what it would be that's causing issues somewhere else. It could be the fact the driver's not up to date. I'm not too sure, but it's such an easy install. Let me just see if I can find my preset quickly. I forgot I even had Alien vs Predator. Such an awesome game. You can so tell I get distracted so easily. Oh, shiny things. Where am I? Reshade. There we go. Discope card effects. Cool. Yeah, so there's a couple of things that didn't load up. There's one thing I use on here quite a lot, which is called Filmic Pass, which I mentioned before in my previous video that I use that with most of my games. And that's the reason why I've had to revert back using an older version. Certain filters aren't available anymore because they're old kind of legacy filters, if you will, and they're no longer available. So, I mean, it's not a major thing. I'm going to port over the filter anyway, all being well. But yeah, I hope that's cleared things up for a few people. And as I said, like they mentioned on 10 Forward Weekly that it is good to use Reshade. So yeah, I mean, you probably don't even need to use my preset. I'm sure you'll be able to come up with some pretty cool things yourself. But I will include it on Nexus Files once it's done, once I've gone through it today. But yeah, I hope everyone's all well. And yeah, that's enough from me. Take care.